Good afternoon, everybody at home, wherever you are, whenever you are.
Yes, whatever time zone you happen to be in right now.
We're aware there are a selection of time zones, and you're joining us here 15:01 o'clock.
15:01.
O'clock.
Very precise.
Yeah. Are we still in British summertime?
You're
Yes,
asking
yeah.
me. You're asking
Yep.
me questions that I'm not sure about.
BST. So that's where we are at UK time, and we're taking a little bit of a break from the men's roller derby
Yes.
to bring you a wonderful exhibition bout of junior roller derby.
Yep. We have an open junior game for your viewing and listening pleasure. We will be using our dulcet tones to tell you all about these fantastic junior skaters.
So if you have never seen junior roller derby before, I am going to use my experience to give you a brief sort of explanation of how it differs from the standard game that we all know and love.
Yes.
So junior roller derby is played at 3 levels, level 1, 2 and 3. Shocking. Level 1 is basically skating around trying to pass. Very little contact.
Yes.
Level 2 is mainly positional. So it's going to be driving contact as opposed to actual hits. A lot of trying to slow down the opposition.
Yeah.
And
Lighter contact.
Yes, there is actually an additional penalty in level 2. It's so obviously nobody can see us, but if I were to lean into you, Boots, and drive you off to the outside, perfectly legal. If I were to, however, say race from lane 2 to lane 4 to take you out, that would be considered accelerated contact.
Okay.
There is an additional hand signal for that. If you think of a clenched fist into a flat palm,
Okay.
that's accelerated contact.
Okay, so if you see the referees with a flat palm and a fist and making contact with those two, that will be that penalty.
Yes. And level 3 is full contact derby as we all know and love it.
Yes.
The thing that I absolutely love and also terrifies me a little bit about junior roller derby is it is based, the variations of levels are based on skill and not age.
No.
So we may well end up with an absolutely awesome 9-year-old who's skating a level 3 jam against a 16-year-old.
Yes.
It's amazing, and it's quite a sight to behold, if I'm honest. So don't be concerned that there are very small people up against rather larger people.
Yes.
That's how it's meant to be. We will also have somebody in the middle or thereabouts to indicate to us which level jam we are playing.
Yep. Today we will be having players for level 2 and level 3.
Yes.
We won't have any level 1 jams. I've been told that we will have 2 level 3 followed by a level 2.
Yes.
So each 3 jams you will have. We will indicate this to you at home.
Indeed. I'm sure that people may be wondering, like, well, if there's different levels and skaters not all at the same level, what about penalties? It's a very good question. If, for example, we come to the end of a level 2 jam and there is a level 2 skater in the penalty box, they will be switched out for a level 3 skater.
Perfect. Okay.
So we're going to give you a brief rundown of our teams. Would you like to take the Jaguars?
I will take the Jaguars. So I have 005, that is Catapus. 007 is Fierce Brosnan. Number 10 is Roller Girl. 143 is Marnie Move Over. 24 is Lady Macbeth. 281 is Duke of Painbridge. 342 is High Velocity. 345 is Annihilator. 7105 Serial Killer, 8 is Abby, 888 is Skelebell, and 999 is Tilda End.
And they will be skating in black. So we will now give you a rundown of the Snow Leopards, who will be skating in white. We've got number 13, Tiny Temper. Number 19 is Judge Law. 2005 is Mills on Wheels. Number 22 is Elwolf. 2505 is Crush'ems. Number 26 is T-Breaks. 261 is Misty Roller. 38 is Grey. Number 5 is Little Miss Lashes. 57 is Bonesaw. 602 is Stinkerbell, and 626 is Violet. We've got skaters on these teams hailing from a number of different teams. We've got the Jaguars, comprising mainly of skaters from the Poisonberries, affiliated with Hereford, and the Sheffield Juniors, affiliated with the Sheffield Steel Rollers.
Okay.
And for the Snow Leopards in the white, we have teams, mainly predominantly comprising of skaters from the Devon All-Star Hitters, and skaters from Northants Roller Derby as well.
Excellent. If there are parents and friends watching, please do feel free to contact us via Twitter. The hashtag is MRDA2017. And if you comment on the stream feed, we will hopefully be able to read out a few of those
absolutely.
comments. I just want to make a little comment that I have previously seen one of these skaters, Nihilator, at Anarchy in the UK, which was hosted by the London Roller Girls. And Nihilator was most certainly a crowd favourite. A very, very tiny little jammer fighting off against a fierce wall of blockers, managing to get through blockers twice as high as her, and then proceeding to have the entire crowd roaring with approval.
Fabulous.
So we're expecting lots of, you can probably hear from our mics.
And I was going to say, from the brief shot of the crowd we just had, you can see that we've still got a packed hall. People haven't wandered away because it's the kids playing.
No.
It's Junior Roller Derby for me is incredibly interesting.
Yes.
Because give it a couple of years and Boots, these are the children that will be putting you on your rear end.
Exactly. I mean, I am probably going to retire as soon as possible. Once these skaters are released into adult leagues, it's going to be very fearsome. Obviously, people who are watching in the US are aware there's a very strong junior roller derby leagues in the US, and we are showing you what the UK is capable of right now.
So this jam, to get us started, will be a level 3 jam.
Okay. I think we can see L Wolf for the Snow Leopards.
Indeed. We do apologise if it takes us a little while longer to spot the jammers, but they are even smaller than some of our very compact jammers as we've seen the rest of this weekend. But I can see that it's number 143, Marnie Move Over. I actually remember Marnie from Eastbourne Extreme earlier this year. Fabulous little skater, and I'm very excited to see that they're playing again.
And we have Marnie Move Over as first lead jammer out of the pack. So we currently have lead jammer for the Jaguars.
And it looks like the Jaguars have got some really nice walls going on, but we have had a star pass. Number 26, T-Breaks, now the active jammer, but Marnie calling it off after picking up 4 points.
Fantastic.
Absolutely brilliant.
As we were saying, we're very aware of the strength of the US leagues. There's also a lot of skaters who are in current adult leagues who cut their teeth, as we say, in the junior games. So at the moment, we're watching a game of future roller derby stars, and a lot of them are better at skating than most of us are now.
I would put very good money on saying that all of these kids could outskate me. Big hit there from T-Breaks, taking off number 142.
And we also had
143, my mistake.
Yep, but we also had a hit to High Velocity, who is the jammer. High Velocity for the Jaguars is out and is lead, but racing behind is number 52, Boneshaw.
Boneshaw closing in on the pack. High Velocity schooling off the jam. 2 points apiece. Let's take another look at that emergence from the pack.
Lots of hustle and tumble.
That big hit from T-Breaks. And a brilliant recycle as well there from T-Breaks. Okay, so we're going to move into this next jam. This is going to be a level 2 jam. So remember, we'll keep an eye out for that additional possible penalty of the accelerated contact. And this is going to be, just going to go into a quick official timeout, but this is going to be a lot more positional.
Yep.
So we're going to see probably a lot more ploughing, a lot more drives. And
just lighter contact in
yes,
general. I can definitely see Annihilator number 345 for the Jaguars.
Annihilator's taking a bit of tumble there at the front. And coming out as your lead jammer, that is going to be number 38 for the Snow Leopards. That's Gray.
And we can already see the speed that some of these skaters are displaying at such a young age. A little nip on the inside line there means that the Snow Leopards jammer Gray is through for a nice 4-point pass.
However, Annihilator finding space along the outside, also managed to pick up 4 points. Gray taking a little tumble along the first straightaway, recovering quickly and shutting down that jam.
A nice little bit of toe stop work there from Annihilator at the end of the jam.
That beautiful initial pass, and here we can see, Annihilator managing to get their hips around that blocker, number 2505, Crushams. Crushams, I believe, also was at Eastbourne this year, Brom. Sage nod from our producer today, thank you very much.
Yeah, we are very thankful to have Brom in the producer's seat today.
Yes.
And also very thankful to our Derby Duck Productions, who are providing us the feed and giving us a big hand. We've just had a level swap out of the penalty box as we go into a level 3 jam.
Okay, so both of our jammers are out, but your lead jammer is number 143. Marnie move over. So remember, folks, we're back into level 3, so that is full contact.
And getting Marnie to move over is 261. That was Miss D Roller.
See what you did there.
We were talking earlier about some of the junior games. We love the names that they've got, but we also have come up with Tiny Turner.
Nice.
So if anyone has a junior skater who is looking for a name, Tiny Turner would be a good junior name.
Brilliant.
We have a level 3 game right now, or level 3 jam rather, High Velocity up against number 19, that is Judge Law.
Judge Law getting incredibly low coming around that turn 3 into turn 4. Don't forget, folks, this is an open to all game, so it is mixed genders.
And I do believe that's going to be a cut track. Yep.
There we go.
Big hit there to High Velocity as we see Judge Law going to the penalty box.
So we have our first power jam of this junior game. And that's going to be a full Grand Slam pass for High Velocity.
Coming back round on the scoring pass, we currently have the jammer approaching the apex. A little bit of offense, ably assisted by her teammates, and that is another 5 in the sky for High Velocity.
That was a lovely tactical move. So we've got our jammer standing in the penalty box. Abby as a blocker for the Jaguars as well standing. Judge Law out of the box, coming in hard to that pack, and a little bit of confusion there, not a penalty not assessed, called back on track by their jammer ref.
And we have Judge Law out of the pack now. Got some points on the board as well.
Indeed, Elwolf and Lady Macbeth into the penalty box. We've got a pack advantage to the Jaguars. 3 blockers plays 2. And I can see Abby and Roller Girl doing a nice job of really slowing down Judge Law, making him work for those points. But he does manage to get a 4-point pass.
A little knockdown on the outside there, High Velocity back up, and that jam being called. Just going to take a little look at the scores going into this. Jaguars are on 32 and Snow Leopards are on 14. We're about to change to a level 2. And I think we've had some swap out in the penalty box also.
Indeed. Big scoring jam there for the Jaguars. 22 points on that. That's absolutely fabulous.
Well, that's the majority of the points so far in this first 7 minutes.
But still an incredibly close game, 14-32. We've still got just over 23 minutes remaining, and these kids have clearly got a lot of energy in them still to play.
And we have a lead jammer, that is 005 Catapus, out for the Jaguars.
And 261 Misty Roller also out, giving chase, managing to find space on that inside line.
Yeah, Misty Roller stealing some points there, I think.
Yeah, rolling through the pack.
And a hop, skip, and a jump on those toe stops sees Misty Roller picking up another 4 points.
Meanwhile, Catapus picks up 4 through the pack, looking for advice from the bench about whether to call it, being told to run it. The tactics still apply in the junior game, and they've got youth on their side, Boots. They're still in a natural learning environment, i.e. school. So can you imagine how well they must be taking on all these rules?
Exactly, and also they have energy on their side.
Yes.
I don't think we're going to see too many tired skaters out on the track.
Let's take another look at that footwork on the outside. I mean, how am I supposed to compete with that, Boots?
I think
I am old and I am broken.
I think some of the gatekeepers in Bridgetown should be watching this game.
Oh, yes.
And learning a few of those toe stop skills. I mean, the gentlemen are very good at what they do, but these kids are definitely going to show us some action on track. Looking at the action on track, we have 57. That is Boneshaw out as lead for the Snow Leopards.
Some really ferocious crossovers. Boneshaw really digging in, getting low, coming around on the turns. Meanwhile, 888 Skelebel taking a big hit on the inside of turn 2, recovering quickly to pick up the full 4 points.
Yeah, and there was a little fist pump there for Skelebel. Yeah, I got some points. And I think we have a multiplayer block being assessed to one of the Jaguar blockers.
That's number 24, Lady Macbeth.
Skelebel having a little bit of trouble against that wall, getting a bit of offense from a teammate. Meanwhile, approaching the back of the pack, we have Boneshaw once again.
Oh, that was a very nice little skip jump over the apex.
That was fantastic.
I would be mighty proud if I managed to do one of those.
And we are watching both jammers approaching the pack once more.
Skelebel just taken off on the outside of that first straightaway.
And scooching around and calling it off. Boneshaw with another 4 points on the board.
Let's take another look at that action. I think we're going to get another look. Big hit to the outside and very quick recovery.
And that little apex
jump. So this next jam's going to lead us into another level 3 jam. We've got number 342, High Velocity, jamming for the Jaguars. However, in lead jammer position, we have number 26, T-Breaks, who I'm sure that I also saw at Eastbourne earlier this year. It's really exciting to see these kids skating again and to see how much they've progressed from what was already a really high point earlier on. T-Breaks with the brilliant tactical knowledge. Such a quick initial pass.
Yeah, that was lightning quick initial pass for T-Breaks.
But that control on the outside, that was beautiful.
That was beautiful. If you are interested in finding out more about Junior Roller Derby, hopefully we can get some links to these groups.
Absolutely.
And these teams. So if you have a small person who is ready to skate themselves, hopefully we can get you some info.
Indeed. This is going to be a level 2 jam that we're seeing, and I think there's a friend of yours on the track, Boots.
Yep, that is Annihilator, number 345, and as you see, the crowd goes wild for that teeny tiny jammer.
The crowd literally on their feet. Full 4-point pass for Annihilator as L Wolf comes up on their first scoring pass.
If you are a big fan of that tiny jammer, Annihilator actually has a Facebook page and a blog. She was writing about yesterday's day at Champs. I highly recommend going and checking that out.
Oh, absolutely
it's
wonderful.
Wonderful to see the younger skaters getting involved with this day and hopefully really enjoying all of the amazing derby we've had this weekend.
Exactly. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant for us to be able to have the MRDA 2017 championships here in the UK. But like, we're grown adults, we can take responsibility for ourselves. It's brilliant that a tournament of this level is here and is so accessible for all of these junior skaters.
Exactly. You know, there is a lot to be said about, the more derby you watch, the more your knowledge grows. And as we've seen, some fantastic tactics already from these younger skaters.
Just look at this, like, cute little fake out. Looked like they were going for the outside. Quick switch across to the inside. We are in a team timeout for the Snow Leopards, and I just want to give a quick shout out to somebody.
Okay.
So a big, huge shout out to the one and only Baron von Giersch. Ref extraordinaire, I've got in brackets here. So Baron von Giersch is the kit and skate maintenance sponsor for Serial Killer, who we've got playing today.
Okay.
We know that Baron hasn't been able to make it here this weekend. Baron, we miss you, but we're sending massive love from all of us, all of the crew, all of the skaters and the juniors. They wish you well and hope to see you back up in action very soon.
Oh, I'm sure Serial Killer is so happy to have Baron von Giersch on team. At present, we have number 143. That is Marnie Move Over as lead jammer in this level 3 jam.
Marnie's having a really, really great game so far. And I think we've had ourselves a star pass. Number 261, Misty Roller, now your active jammer for the Snow Leopards. As Marnie Move Over is being recycled. Really nice work by number 57, Boneshaw.
Yep, and we are having that whistle blown, the end of that jam. Just a little look back at that star pass.
I knew it was coming and I still didn't see it. It was so slick.
It's because of the tiny jammers.
Yeah.
I'm blaming everything on the tiny jammers.
Blame it on the tiny jammers. So as we move into a level 3 jam, we can see some really nice wall work on display from both teams. We've got a slight pack advantage to the Snow Leopards. We've got one blocker in the penalty box for the Jaguars, but that's not making any difference because the Jaguars not only have lead jammer in the form of 342 high velocity, but it's also a power jam. We've got Judge Law is taking a seat in the penalty box. So let's see if the Jaguars can increase on this lead that they've got at the moment.
Indeed, and looking at the stats at the moment, this will be the Jaguars' 7th lead jammer to the Snow Leopards 4.
Wow.
And as we can see, the score 22 points at present between these two teams, while we see the Jaguars jammer going back in for another scoring pass.
So we have Judge Law returning to the track, looking for the spaces in that Jaguars pack at the back. Nearly. I was wondering. I thought maybe he made it through on the outside line there, but I think just touched a toe stop outside. So that is going to be a cutting penalty, and Judge Law will head back to the penalty box. He's got a friend in there. He's got another one coming. So we've got 2 blockers in the penalty box for the Snow Leopards as well.
And I'm just being told that number 19, Judge Law, is currently on 3 penalties.
Okay.
I think all 3 of those might have been jammer penalties.
I believe so.
And another 5 points in the sky for the Jaguars. This is a very high-scoring jam, 25 points so far. And another 5 with that apex jump. Phenomenal.
So this right here, right now, is the highest scoring jam we have had so far in this game. That is a massive 30-point jam. Let's take another look at that.
Big hit there being delivered to that Jaguars jammer, but they are fighting through and picking up more points.
And we're going to see that little, yes, a little skip over the apex. 30-point jam, phenomenal.
And we now have a level 2 jam about to commence. We will take a look at the jammers shortly if we can see which jammers they are. I think we see 602, that is Stinkerbell.
Stinkerbell indeed. First time up to jam today, I do believe. And that's going to be 005 Catapus. We've already seen a couple of very nice jams from Catapus.
Yes, we have. And Catapus once again picking up lead for the Jaguars. That will be another lead point towards them. Having a little bit of difficulty there, but managing to get through with a 5-point pass.
Yeah, we saw a multiplayer block being issued to Crashems from the Snow Leopards. So that made things just that little bit easier for Catapus to get through. But that's another 5-point pass. And that last pass, Boots, sees the Jaguars breaking the 100 mark.
Indeed.
Absolutely phenomenal.
We also saw a little sneaky star pass to Gray at the end there, but unfortunately not able to complete a pass.
So as we move into this level 3 jam, we've got about 13 minutes left on the clock for this first half. And we've got the Snow Leopards sticking on 44 points. And the Jaguars, as I say, they're racing out into the lead with 101.
As we know, both of these teams are named after big cats, and big cats are famed for their power and their speed. That is exactly what we're seeing from these juniors today.
Absolutely.
Hearing a few whistles going on right now. I think a multiplayer block being assessed to somebody. We aren't sure which skater. I know which skater is lead jammer though. That is 261. That is Misty Roller.
So that's going to be a lead jammer being assessed to the Snow Leopards. That's going to be the first one we've seen in just a little while.
And we are looking at a really nice scoring pass for the Snow Leopards. At present, the Jaguars have scored more points in 3 jams than the Snow Leopards in total.
Wow.
But with a jam like that, we're getting a nice 4 points on the board. I'm hoping to see the Snow Leopards creep back.
Indeed, and it's a tactic that we've seen from the adults this weekend. A lot of what we call it sort of nickel and diming.
Yep.
So kind of pulling it back piece by piece. Nice big scoring jams, they're lovely to have.
Yeah.
But they're not always what you need. Sometimes you do just need a 4 here, a 5 there, another 4, because that will very quickly mount up and that will close that gap.
I think it's important because, as we're looking at this level 3 jam, we've got a Snow Leopard lead jammer. That is number 22, L. Wolf, versus number 8, Abby. As we said, the nickel and dime, just making sure that the other jammer doesn't score any points.
Incredible apex jump from Abby, although I think... Yes, so do you see that there from our head referee, Seb? Let's take another look at it, because this is the accelerated contact that we mentioned. See it just there on the landing?
Yeah.
So, Abby, we're going to switch out the jammer because we're moving to a level 2 jam. So, and I believe we're going to take a quick timeout as well. I think they're just making sure that we've got the correct skaters.
Indeed. As we were saying earlier, very nobly noted with that. We had a Snow Leopard as lead jammer, wanting to get some points and trying to call it off just before the Jaguars could get some points, because, sometimes even a 0-0 jam, if it means that the other team haven't got points on the board, that's going to help. Sometimes it's about stopping the tide of points. And we have Crushems up to jam.
Indeed, and I think, if I'm reading the situation correctly, I believe that we've had the jammer removed from the penalty box as we were in a level 3 jam. Okay. So that accelerated contact wouldn't have been a relevant penalty, as it would have been a full contact.
We have Serial Killer up to jam for the Jaguars, and Serial Killer with lead.
And Serial Killer, of course, our sponsored skater by the one and only Baron von Gersch.
A little hit it and quit it before the opposing jammer gets points on the board there. And a lovely jam for Serial Killer. So with just over 10 minutes left, Jaguars are on 106, Snow Leopards are on 48. If you are just joining us, we have a level 3 jam next. Jaguars in black and Snow Leopards in white. Indeed.
I just want to give a big shout out as well to our bench and lineup managers involved with these games.
Absolutely.
They're either parents or coaches involved with the leagues. For the Snow Leopards, we have the one and only urban legend from the Crash Test Brummies. His two sons, Duke and Fierce, are skating on opposite teams today. And he obviously plays for the Brummies. And the lineup manager for the Leopards is Hair Razor, and she's a coach for the Devon All-Star Hitters and plays for North Devon Roller Derby as well.
Oh, fantastic. Well, both of these bench coaches will be very pleased, as we currently have a lead jammer for the Snow Leopards. But I think we might have also just had a star pass.
Certainly looks that way to me. That's T-Breaks with the star in hand.
T-Breaks has been showing some fabulous skills as both a blocker and a jammer in this game.
That's High Velocity had some really nice lateral movement, sort of switching from inside to outside to complete that last scoring pass. T-Breaks with 4 in the sky as well.
We see High Velocity attempting an apex jump, not quite successful this time, and that gives T-Breaks a little opportunity to get through undistracted with 5 points.
Natural Grand Slam. High Velocity recovering from that big hit and making their way through for 4 points of their own.
And using their players to sweep on the inside there. Another 4 points on the board for the Snow Leopards. And this is a very high scoring jam so far for the Snow Leopards, looking at 16 points so far.
Fabulous. Meanwhile, High Velocity through with another 4-point pass.
A little bit of difficulty right now being hit to the outside. That is the Snow Leopards jammer, T-Breaks.
And so that jam reaching its natural conclusion. We didn't have a lead jammer there. See what I mean about that lateral movement from out to in.
And a big hit there to our Snow Leopard jammer there.
And so our bench team for the Jaguars we've got bench coach is Tristan Shout, and he's the bench coach for the Poison Berries for the last 18 months. He's dad to Annihilator. He also bench coaches for Hereford Roller Girls, and their lineup manager is Barbed Wire. She's the head coach for the Poison Berries for the last 3 years. She is mum of Marnie Moveover and High Velocity. She also plays for Hereford Roller Girls and is a director at the Crash Test Brummies.
And what we just saw there was the highest scoring jam for the Snow Leopards. We are about to start another level 3 jam. So we have number 22, that is L Wolf, and 143, that is Marnie Moveover for the Jaguars.
So we'll just give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors, Roller Derby City. They are the official sponsor for the event, providing event and volunteer shirts. And they've been providing roller derby apparel for you and your team. You can find them online at www.rollerderbycity.com.
And starting back on the action, L Wolf for the Snow Leopards. Looking at the front with 1 to beat. And is through. That is number 22, L Wolf, as your lead jammer for the Snow Leopards.
Beautiful work. That's Marnie Moveover, I do believe, finding the inside line. A little bit of space through there. Manages to complete that first pass. L Wolf just taken off on that inside line. Quick reset though.
And we've had Marnie Moveover escaping the pack, stealing those 4 points.
Okay, so we've had a multiplayer block being assessed to number 999 till the end. So we are down a pivot for the Jaguars, but Marnie Moveover doesn't seem to mind because that's a natural Grand Slam 5-point pass.
Some fantastic work from Marnie at present. A very nice jam for the Jaguars. I do believe, have we had a star pass?
We have indeed. First time donning the star today, I do believe, after this pass. It's number 2505, Crush'ems. Took a big hit coming into turn 4. Recovered and is going for that wall once again.
And we have the pack at a little bit of a standstill right now, just showing how incredible those walls are. All of these blockers digging in those edges to just halt the opposing jammer from getting through.
It's really great to see such strong teamwork. These players all really pulling together to do everything they can to kind of keep their team absolutely in this game.
Yeah, we can look at this as a stellar observation, a stellar example of phenomenal skating and teamwork. We have a power jam in favour of the Jaguars now as Snow Leopards jammer goes into the box.
So let's take another look at some of the action from that previous jam. We can see number 22, El Wolf, pushing hard against that wall.
We are going to start a level 2 jam, but we've had a team time out called by the Snow Leopards.
So we're just switching out our jammers.
What we just saw there, we previously seen a 19-point jam from the Snow Leopards. Jaguars answering with their own 19-point jam in that last jam. Can I say jam anymore?
Jam, jam, jammity, jam, jam.
Jammity, jam, jam.
Jam, jam, jammity, jam, jam. Jam, 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 jam. Jam, 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 jam.
I'm now hungry for toast.
I kind of wonder at which point of saying the word jam does it stop making sense? Does it no longer have any meaning? From the look on your face, I'd say that time passed some time ago.
Yep. Though I will also say that my coffee levels, my caffeine levels have been depleted over the weekend. So it's been quite a long weekend, but I am super stoked for the continuation of this game and the remaining couple of games.
Indeed, we've got 5 minutes and 23 seconds left of this first half. We've got the Snow Leopards on 70 points, so they've really managed to crack up in the last couple of jams. Jaguars still in the lead with 137, and if you will recall, this is a power jam start. It is, and that's going to be an illegal procedure assessed to 007 Fierce Brosnan, and we're going to have a jammer switcheroo on this jam level 2.
Jam level 2, jammer switcheroo.
Indeed.
I also am thinking that we haven't had lead technically assessed, so this could mean that the Snow Leopards take lead with jammer number 38, Gray.
Very possible. It does look like Fierce Brosnan has been returned from the penalty box. He was looking for that outside line, but was taken off track by number 57, Boneshaw.
And we do have lead jammer assessed to the Snow Leopards jammer. That is number 38, Gray, as your lead.
However, Fierce Brosnan is out of the pack and is chasing.
You could almost say chasing quite fiercely.
Indeed. And with those black striped lines just under his eyes.
Go faster stripes.
Go faster. There we go. I was wondering. I'm not down with the kids.
No, and I think what we need to do is when you and I get back on skates, we need to have those go fast stripes to help us.
Can I have them all over?
Just a long go faster stripe all over. Oh, a big hit there.
And that's where that illegal contact came from.
And we're looking at a level 3 jam coming up next. And we see the jammers having a little chat on the line there. See, the junior skaters are just as friendly as the adults. We've seen some really nice jammer chats throughout this weekend.
And we're just taking a moment to switch out our pivots in the penalty box for the Snow Leopards as we are moving from a level 2 to a level 3 jam.
We have T breaks for the Snow Leopards, but it is lead going to the Jaguars. That is number 342, a familiar face on the jammer line, High Velocity.
Indeed, however, T-Breaks number 26 is giving chase, heading into the penalty, not the penalty box, sorry, heading into the pack, backwards, trying to get their hips in, and it worked. 3 points on the board.
Can we also
even with that recycle?
Can we also give a big shout out? Fantastic work from number 24, Lady Macbeth. Wonderful little hit to the inside and a recycle back.
Tasty.
As we were saying, the tactics for these skaters is incredible. I absolutely cannot wait to see them bringing those skills up with them as they go up to the adult leagues.
Absolutely fabulous. We've got a fresh jam in play.
I think it's a level 3 jam, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. We've got a little bit of recycling going on from both teams.
Yeah, we have Boneshaw out to jam Snow Leopards and Marnie Move Over out to jam for the Jaguars.
Marnie moved that blocker over on the outside to pick up lead jammer for the Jaguars.
And we see some big hits going on as Snow Leopards jammer is stuck in the pack.
Yeah, Boneshaw still working away at that wall. Nice little hip check there from T-Breaks.
But a full 5-point pass on the board for the Jaguars. I mean, we have a minute and a half left, and Snow Leopards on 77, Jaguars on 150. They've had some fantastic jams, and this is also going to be one of them.
I'm sorry, I've got to cut you off. Number 57, Boneshaw, with a cheeky little star stash to complete that initial pass. And there was that hip check from T-Breaks. Very well placed, absolutely solid contact, just not quite enough to take the jammer over that inside line.
And one of my favourite jammers is up next. We have Annihilator up to jam.
I'll tell you what, though she be small, she is mighty.
Small and mighty, and jamming against Annihilator. I think that might be 38 Gray. And that is leads to 38.
Annihilator now out of the pack and using the strength of the kittens on her leggings.
Yes.
To run down and look for those points.
We have those arms flying in the sky and Gray calling that jam off.
2 points for Gray, 1 point for Annihilator, just picked up at the end of the jam.
And we're seeing Annihilator getting a little high five from the bench there. And
okay, folks, so that's half time.
That is half time.
That went blooming quick.
That was blooming, or like those skaters.
Yes.
Those skaters, incredibly fast moving. We are very, very lucky to witness it. We're just going to look at a few stats. So the highest jams so far for the Jaguars, it was number 342. That was high velocity with a 30-point jam.
Phenomenal.
And Snow Leopards, number 26, that was T-Breaks with a 19-point jam.
So we are going to take a little break.
Yes, we are.
We're going to have a look at some more statistics.
Ooh.
And we're going to come back.
Yeah, we are going to come back.
I'm so excited for the rest of this game.
It's going to be phenomenal.
What is that? No, it's gone.
I have no idea what's
going on. I know it's nearly
right
Halloween,
now.
but...
I know. Very, very spooky. We'll be back shortly.
We will see you in a little while for the conclusion of this fabulous juniors game.
Had the Jaguars with 12 leads and the Snow Leopards with 9, and we also had a few pointless jams, so jams that had 0 points, not that they were pointless.
Absolutely.
And the Jags had 5 pointless jams with the Snow Leopards having 8.
And I think sort of that statistical information is reasonably well represented in our scoreline.
Yes.
If you will recall, at the end of the half, we ended with the Snow Leopards on 79 points.
Yeah.
And the Jaguars on 156. So if you can see, obviously, that the Jaguars have had 3 more lead jammers than the Snow Leopards.
Yeah.
And 3 less no-point jams than the Snow Leopards.
Exactly. Consistent scoring from these Jaguars. Somebody else who's been consistent is number 26.
Indeed.
That is T-Breaks.
So it's going to be a Snow Leopard lead jammer to get us started in this second half.
And I do believe this is a level 3 jam.
T-Breaks Very clear, concise, determined 3-point pass, 4-point pass, sorry, called off the jam. It was a 4-0 pass, so that's 4 unanswered points.
And we are looking, I think this might be a level 3. Can't
indeed.
quite see the jammers. It's because our eyesight is not as good as these junior skaters.
Yes. Even though I have been to Specsavers, other opticians are available, it's still not great.
Okay, I did see there for the Jaguars, that is number 24, Lady Macbeth.
And we do have number 261, Misty Roller for the Leopards.
Misty Roller taking a bit of a tumble there. And a big hit by number 57, delivering that to the jammer. But we do have lead for the Jaguars.
Quick recovery there from what was a really big hit, and that was from Boneshaw. Boneshaw's had a really good game so far, some really solid blocking, very confident, good skating technique as well.
Yeah. If you have a favourite junior skater in this game, I think you should use the hashtag MRDA 2017 to let us know.
So let's take another look at this pass. We can see, yes, some big contact there at the end of the jam, and it does look like that's going to be a penalty assessed. I should assume that is going to be a late hit. So we're going to have Misty Roller taking a seat in the penalty box, but as we're moving into a level 2 jam, it will be switched over, and that's now going to be Crusham's in the box.
And we have lead jam for 281. That is Duke of Painbridge. If you were just joining us, this is a level 2 jam. So a level 2 jam is light contact, predominantly positional blocking, and so you can have some pushing movements, but not quite at the same level as level 3, which is very similar to the adults.
And I tell you what, this is his first time up to jam today, but the Duke of Painbridge is doing a marvellous job. Absolutely marvellous. Duke of Painbridge is one of the sons of Urban Legend from the Crash Test Brummies.
Are we going to see Duke of Painbridge duking around some blockers? I think we are. That is a nice 4-point pass for the Jaguars.
And Crusham's has been released from the penalty box. Duke of Painbridge with the smart tactical move there, calling that jam off before Crusham's made their way to the back of the pack to pick up any points. Big 14-point bag, 14-point jam for the Duke.
And we have another level 3. So as we were saying briefly earlier, level 3 is very similar to the adults. So it is full contact. They can deliver some big hits. Not needing any big hits to get through, though, is number 143. That is Marnie Move Over.
Number 22, Elle Wolf, has completed her initial pass and is looking to chase down. However, Marnie again following in the footsteps of the Duke of Painbridge with that tactical call, the nickel and dime, or the hit it and quit it, however you want to kind of terminology you'd like to use.
Either way, fantastic tactics.
Indeed.
And we've got a blocker apiece in the bin at present. One of them is the pivot for the Jaguars. We have Skellabell up for the Jaguars, and the opposing jammer, who looks like they're about to break through that pack. That is 261 Misty Roller.
And that was a bit of a photo finish. Both jammers passing through the pack at almost the same time on the inside and outside lines. Skellabell picking up lead jammer, grabbing 3 points there and calling off the jam. 3 points as well for the opposition, so that's an equal jam. And as we have a team timeout for the Jaguars, we'll give you a quick shout out to one of our sponsors, the Events Medical Saltney, They are our medics team for this weekend. We've got the wonderful Colin and Michelle in-house with us looking after everybody. They're absolutely fabulous. Their whole crew is brilliant. If you would like them at your next event, you can find them online at www.eventsmedicalteam.com.
We also want to give a big thank you to Derby Duck Productions, who are providing the stream. Watching the stream at present, we have iHorror on Twitter saying the future of Derby is bright, and I think everyone will agree. We also have Spellbound88 stating they are loving Junior Derby and they are so proud of Tilda number 999. That is Tilda End.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's so brilliant. This is what I love about the live stream, is that we've got this available for people who weren't able to make it here. And it's even better, meaning that we can broadcast these absolutely fantastic kids so that everybody can see what it is that we've got up and coming here in the UK.
And as we talk about up and coming, a level 2 jam, we have Annihilator up to jam, and that is number 38, Grey, up to jam for the Snow Leopards.
Annihilator my apologies. Grey finding space on the inside line, picking up lead jammer, but Annihilator is through as well, and she is pumping those little legs.
I think Grey will be aware that with that crowd roar, definitely a fan favourite right now, Annihilator.
Annihilator taking a big tumble, but very quickly recovering.
And we have both of these jammers coming round on a scoring pass. Annihilator making quick work of that pack, so easy and swift. I think considering how tiny Annihilator is, might be just out of sightline of some of these opposing blockers. Ooh, bit of a tumble there for Annihilator.
Meanwhile, Grey facing some opposition on the inside line, being recycled by the Duke of Cambridge and Fierce Brosnan. That's a big hit there from the Duke. And Grey, you remember, in control of that jam, decides to call it off.
And we are seeing that nice open inside line, which gave the Snow Leopards lead. Can I also state, you know, we were talking about names earlier. Fierce Brosnan is definitely one of my favourites at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I know there's been a move sort of towards people wanting to use their actual name in roller derby, but it's nice to still see that little bit of fun and joy that the skate names bring in this junior game.
I won't be dropping Snoogans anytime soon.
And we have a lead being assessed to T-Breaks.
T-Breaks coming up slow and steady to the pack. Nice control through on the inside for that full 4-point pass.
Some lovely footwork there, some toe-stop work to get T-Breaks through.
Meanwhile, High Velocity taking a couple of hits in the pack, still just now completing that first scoring pass. Meanwhile, T-Breaks being recycled and decides to call off the jam.
I've got to read out a couple of the notes that we have. So we have Mackenzieovich, first time watching juniors and loving it. Bobby Pins Fisher's little one wants to know what power jams taste like on toast. And Martin Burns watching with his sons who want to take it up. This is exactly what we want. We want the next group of fabulous skaters and roller derby stars to be coming up through the ranks.
So Martin Burns, the best thing I can recommend for you and your sons would be to head on over to Facebook or to do a good old Google search for the JRDA. That's the Junior Roller Derby Association. There will be somebody there that you will be able to contact via email or instant message who will be able to put you in touch with a league nearby. Brom, you're absolutely right. I've talked far too much, but this jam that just gone was absolutely phenomenal. Let's take another look, Boots.
let's look at that hit. T-Breaks is breaking the momentum of that Jaguars jammer right there. Little hip knock, and that apex jump not quite completed.
Indeed, Abby went for that apex jump, and it looks like we have the Snow Leopards calling an official review.
I have a feeling it might be to do with that last
Possibly.
pass. While they're having a little bit of official review, we want to give a big shout out to a couple of our sponsors. Bont, the fully heat moldable ultralight, extremely responsive with Heavenly Heel Lock. If you're looking, Heavenly Heel Lock. That Heavenly Heel Lock might come from the Bucket God. If you've been praise be to the Bucket God.
I mean, we will be hoping that there is a gift given to the Bucket God in this official review.
Yeah.
To be passed over to us by one of our in-house announcers.
We also want to give a big shout out to one of our in-house sponsors, that is Roller Derby City. They are official sponsors and provided the event and volunteer shirts, and they're providing roller derby apparel for you and your team. If you need to check it out and you aren't with us, you can go to www.rollerderbycity.com.
I love RDC. They're wonderful. So helpful. Our wonderful tournament head announcer has confirmed for me that word is coming in from Bucket God regarding that official review. So we'll fill you in with that on the next jam. But right now we are into a fresh one. And we've got some jammers up. We've got number 57, Boneshaw, for the Snow Leopards, picking up lead jammer, which is just, quite frankly, fantastic. But your buddy's on track again.
My heart flutters every time I see Annihilator on track.
She's awesome.
She is awesome, and so much joy from such a little skater. But you know what? Right now, we see Boneshaw laying on that groundwork, showing us what she's capable of, and honestly, it's so fantastic. And we have Beatrix Rotter from SWAT JRD, and currently cheering for the Snow Leopards. So we want to say a big shout out to Beatrix.
Hello.
So at that official review, we had White contesting that number 17, the black jammer, landed in out of bounds or inbounds. So not entirely sure what happened, but something happened.
Meanwhile, on track right now, the thing that's happening is number 8, Abby, for the Jaguars, has picked up lead jammer. Oh, and El Wolf with a little skip over the apex there to complete that initial pass.
Abby is coming up and approaching that final blocker. Bit of a tussle going on there, but hips around and calling it off.
So, Boots, in the last couple of jams, we've had some fairly large milestones beaten.
Yep, we have.
We've had the Snow Leopards have broken the century, so they're now on 107. And the Jaguars have broken the double century, and they're now on 209. We're going to need the cleanup crew in here to tidy away all these broken centuries.
Yeah, we are. If you are watching at home with milk and cookies, take a sip of your milk and cookies for those broken centuries.
Indeed, you can either sip or you can do the dunk and chomp.
Exactly.
I'm a fan of the dunk and chomp.
We are a fan of the dunk and chomp. You know who is chopping their way through the pack right now? That is 342 High Velocity.
And number 261 Misty Roller also out of the pack, laying on the speed to try and get to that pack. Didn't manage to pick up any points on that one, but did manage to force that call off. Let's take another look at that.
And we see approaching the pack, big hit and a roll from our jammer there.
I do believe that big hit resulted in a low block penalty being issued.
And we just saw on camera Boneshaw, and Captain Libertron said that they are loving the bone-crushing blocking of 57 Boneshaw. We are as well.
It's crunch-tastic.
Looking to crunch some more numbers onto the board. We have 005. That is Catapus.
Not seen Catapus jamming for a little while, but had some really nice jams in the first half. Oh, super smooth. Smooth like chocolate around that inside line. I want to see that again. Oh, that was wonderful.
That was beautiful footwork. Just
poetry in motion.
I mean, even though that might have been a level 2 jam and only sort of positional, maybe a little bit I like contact, you know, it doesn't mean that the skill that is on display is any less impressive.
Absolutely not.
Honestly, I'm just blown away by the game that we've been watching so far.
These kids are absolutely schooling me, and somebody who I wish could teach me their ways is number 26, T-Breaks. I am absolutely in awe of her. She's having a fabulous game. Somebody also in a fabulous game now in that jammer race is number 888, Skelebel.
We've seen Skelebel doing some really great blocking. I mean, essentially, Skelebel being a double threat there as also donning the star, I think maybe for the second or the third time this game, picking up a nice 4-point pass.
Meanwhile, T-Breaks being recycled by Marnie Move Over. Going for that again. Oh, that control on the inside line. Did you see that?
That was a big hit there by Judge Law to the Jaguars jammer.
Skelebel taking a moment to recover there, but getting right back into the thick of it.
And we have more points on the board for the Snow Leopards.
I've got to say this now, iHorror, we've just seen your tweets, and we join you in dubbing to the Century Massacre of 2017, rest in peace. That's a good-looking cookie.
That is a good-looking cookie.
Save some for us, please.
If anyone would like to send cookies to the announcers.
We're here for a few more hours.
We are here for a few more hours, and we will greatly receive all of the baked goods that you wish to bestow upon us. You can send them up via the
bucket god will replenish us with cookies.
And that was a fantastic 17-point jam from the Snow Leopards there. But we have a lead for the Jaguars. That is number 8, Abby.
However, Abby is now going to be chased down by number 22, Elle Wolf.
Abby, one more blocker to beat.
Just gets shifted off to the inside, to the infield. Makes the decision to call off the jam.
I think that was 3 points, not quite receiving that final blocker, but calling it at the right time. And it looks like we're having a little time out there. We just want to give, some big thanks to some of our sponsors. Plagued Fitness, they're providing those infected by roller derby, fitness and healthy living with clothing for their contagious lifestyle. We have a couple of promo codes that you can use. One of them is MRDA Ship, as we get the buyer free international shipping on their entire order, or you can use MRDA 15 as we get the buyer 15% off the entire order. Unfortunately, those codes don't stack, so you can't use them in a single order. But if you want to go and check that out, that is plaguedfitness.com.
I mean, you could always make 2 orders.
You could always make 2 orders.
Yeah. So we're going to be moving into a level 2 jam. And we've got a penalty box, what we sometimes refer to as a bake sale.
Yeah.
Full penalty blocks, 3 blockers in there for the Jaguars. Made things that a little bit easier for our Snow Leopard jammer.
That is Boneshaw up jamming. And it looks like a forearms penalty being assessed to Boneshaw. This will now be a power jam in favour of the Jaguars. And lovely toe stop work there from our Jaguars jammer.
That's number 7105, Serial Killer.
And we can see the Jaguars on the outside holding the white wall at bay.
Tell you what, Serial Killer cleared that pack like a box of shreddies.
Yeah, just shredding their way through the pack. Definitely not a flake in sight.
No. Big bottle of milk, big bowl of shreddies, done. Keeps hunger locked up till lunch. Other breakfast cereals are available. So Boneshaw is out of the penalty box, has completed a scoring pass. I do believe that Boneshaw was our lead jammer for this jam with that power jam start. I'm doing it again, aren't I? Too many jams. So this jam will run for the full 2 minutes, of which we've got 30 seconds left.
Well, obviously, you know, we're talking about cereal. Jam is also something you might eat at breakfast, and these kids are hungry for more points.
Hungry for the points. So we've got some nice recycling action going on by the Snow Leopards, managing to take off the Serial Killer and recycle him. But did you see that that little apex jump?
That was superb. Absolutely superb.
I keep calling them little apex jumps, but that's kind of because the people are little.
Yes, smaller skaters.
Like if we were to kind of do them to scale of adults, they'd still be very reasonable apex jumps. We've got some aspiring Charlie Scraplins here.
Yeah. Maybe some aspiring Reapers or Mr. Furios.
Some Petit Furio.
Un petit Furio.
Not Petit Filou, Petit Furio.
And some furious skating right now on track. Big hits being laid out. That is 26 T-breaks.
That was some phenomenal footwork. Some sort of grapevine movement on the inside line by T-breaks.
And busting through that wall. T-breaks on a scoring pass.
Meanwhile, Marnie Maneuver taking advantage of that break in the pack to complete that initial pass. T-breaks knocked off by High Velocity, calls the jam from the OPR lane.
In this current half, T-breaks has had a 100% lead jammer success rate.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
T-breaks obviously had her orange segments at half time.
Yes. You know, this game and some of these names are making me quite hungry.
It's fabulous.
It is. Hungry for more derby as well as food.
Yes. Should we go and get a pizza afterwards?
Yes, we should.
Yes.
Up next on the jam line. I can't see who those jammers are. I think that is 261 Misty Roller.
I do believe you're correct. And that's going to be number 999, Tilda End.
Tilda End rocking that lead jammer status, coming back around with speed to hopefully pick up some points.
Tilda End taking a big hit there at the back of the pack. Very speedy recovery. Meanwhile, Misty Roller is still pushing hard against a very impressive 3-wall at the front of the pack.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, during the games, we do talk a lot about the jammers, but some incredible blocking going on by all of these juniors right now.
So let's take another peek at that 3-wall from the Snow Leopards. Is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and a nice big hit there to the last Snow Leopards blocker. I mean, big cats, big points, big dreams. I think we have a level 2 jam coming up.
I think you're right.
If you want to shout out to your favourite skater, hashtag MRDA 2017, just like Pocket Change and Bobby Fischer, who are both huge Annihilator fans.
Good stuff. right now we have lead jammer in the form of number 281, the Duke of Bainbridge.
We also have not only a lead jammer but a power jam.
Ooh.
As the opposing jammer going into the box, and you could see Duke of Bainbridge kind of pleased and doing our familiar power jam sign.
The double fist bumps of the power jam. And much like, as we mentioned previously for tea breaks, the Duke of Bainbridge also enjoying a 100% success rate as lead jammer in this half.
Indeed, we are seeing Duke of Bainbridge coming back around. We can see those black blockers holding back that opposing white wall.
It does also look like this power jam is going to continue as our Snow Leopard jammer in the penalty box was issued an illegal procedure. I believe they left the penalty box too early.
Okay.
So they're going to sit back down to serve another 30 seconds.
Number 13, Tiny Temper. Fantastic hit and a recycle there.
The Snow Leopards really pulling together and making things very tricky for the Duke of Bainbridge.
Indeed, but the Duke of Bainbridge is out and is on another scoring pass.
Another 5 in the sky for his lordship.
And we do have the Snow Leopard jammer returning to track. Bit of a tumble there.
However, 005 Catapus is going to take a seat in the penalty box for that hit. Well, that was a mega jam there for the Duke of Bainbridge. 24 points up on the board. Thank you very much.
And looking at the scores, when we have just under 7 minutes left, Jaguars are on 275 and the Snow Leopards are on 140.
Both these teams have given such phenomenal action in this game. I am thoroughly enjoying this. And we're going to go into a level 3 jam now. Marnie move over, trying to get her hips around the blockers of the Snow Leopards, being recycled back by Judge Law. And apparently not entering the track legally. So Marnie move over, picking up a cutting penalty.
And that will mean that L. Wolf is your lead jammer for the Snow Leopards.
And a power jam to boot.
No, the power jam is to L. Wolf, not to me.
My mistake. I knew I was going wrong somewhere.
I'm not on track right now.
No.
I don't think I could hold up against these skaters, to be fair. We're having a jammer switcheroo right now.
L. Wolf picking up I believe it was a low block penalty. So they're going to take a seat. But remember, jammers work in pairs with their penalties. So L. Wolf is only going to serve the same amount of time that Marnie move over served. And as I say it, Marnie takes a seat in the box once again.
So Marnie will serve at the full 30-second penalty.
Marnie will indeed. And this jam will run for the full minute. However, full 2 minutes, sorry. L. Wolf now picking up another penalty. So she's going to serve the same amount that Marnie move over just served. Blimey. 2 jammer switcheroos in about 20 seconds.
Let's be fair, I mean, these are energetic youngsters, but I'm sure with only 5 minutes left in the game, it's getting a little bit tiring.
Oh, indeed.
So it could mean that those jammers needing an extra sit down in the penalty box.
Indeed, and we know that they're in good hands with our wonderful blessing of narwhals, our officials, absolutely knowing their stuff.
Yes. If you have a friend who is officiating here, please feel free to also give them a shout out on our hashtag MRDA 2017. We're going to watch a little replay right now.
Going to watch the replay. I'm reprising my rapping career from yesterday. Short-lived.
And looking at the scores with just under 4 minutes, we have 141 to the Snow Leopards, the Jaguars with 284. Are we going to see another break in the century by the end of this game?
Wow, that would be phenomenal, wouldn't it?
That would be incredible.
So we're in a level 3 jam right now, and High Velocity is your lead jammer for the Jaguars. Meanwhile, Boneshaw is looking and sizing up that pack ahead of them, trying to find a space. Not an easy job with the packs that we've been having today.
No, absolutely not. I'm definitely not jealous of some of these juniors, you know, having to jam against these other juniors. Those are some tough walls, some big hits, absolutely incredible. And this is also the first time that Boneshaw hasn't got lead. So
Wow.
really nice work from High Velocity to stop that lead rotation going.
But equally, really nice work from Boneshaw for managing to pick up those lead jammers so consistently up to now.
And I think we've had a sneaky star
We
pass
have.
there.
I saw Boneshaw with the helmet cover in their hand. Wasn't 100% sure, but did make the sneaky pass off 2 T-breaks.
Obviously, if you do take the star off your helmet, you don't have to pass it.
No.
You can have a little star stash if you wish.
You just have to make sure that it's still visible.
Yes. And I think we have I'm imagining this is a level 2 jam. It looks like we just had a little blocker switch out there in the penalty box. We've got some cheering going on for some of our juniors.
Oh, the crowd are going nuts.
The crowd are going nuts, and they should be going nuts.
They know that the children are our future.
And the future is bright and shiny, like a clean bearing.
Nice. And shiny and bright and being pointed at right now is your lead jammer, number 38, Gray, for the Snow Leopards.
But let us not discount the opposing jammer. That is 007 Fierce Brosnan out of the pack, looking to score.
Gray being taken off on the inside by Catapus, but Catapus picking up an elbows penalty for it. So going to go and take a seat in the penalty box as the Duke of Cambridge gets one of those blocking out of play penalties. So we've got both jammers out and scoring now, Boots.
Yes, we do. Both jammers putting as many points on the board. We have had that century broken once more by the Jaguars. 302 points at the moment.
We'll get the clean-up crew back in. Meanwhile, iHorror, grab another cookie.
Yes.
Dunk it for the century.
Yep, you dunk that cookie good.
Dunk it for us. We are cookieless. It's a tragedy.
Look at that little apex hop there. Another 4 points in the sky for the Jaguars.
Meanwhile, we're seeing a nice little bit of recycling there from 7105 Serial Killer while we're on the subject of milk. And tidy little 2-wall from Serial Killer and Annihilator.
And both jammers looking like they are back out of the pack.
Meanwhile, Fierce Brosnan is just lapping. That was another big scoring pass there. Let's take a look at it.
Oh, some fantastic work by these juniors right now. Honestly, in awe, and the entire crowd is so pleased to see these skaters. We have a team time out at present. I'm just going to quickly say, you know, we're nearly at the end of this game, but coming up at 5 p.m. we have Southern Discomfort Roller Derby against San Diego Aftershocks. 6:45 we have the World Cup read, which will tell you a little more about shortly. And 7 p.m. is the final between the Gatekeepers and Bridgetown.
I mean, could you ask for more? I don't think you could. Southern Discover Roller Derby versus the San Diego Aftershocks is going to be phenomenal.
Yep, that is a medal-winning game.
It is.
So
That's
whoever
third,
wins that
place.
game, that will be 3rd and 4th place.
And the final between the St. Louis Gatekeepers and Bridgetown Menace. Oh, folks, you don't get stuff like this for free very often.
No, you don't. And I think we are looking at a final level 3 jam right now. We have Abby up to jam for the Jaguars. And I want to say that's T-breaks.
I think you would be right. And that is T-breaks with another lead jammer to round off the game.
And we see Abby racing round some fantastic speed from this jammer, from all of the jammers. T-Breaks being drawn to the outside there, trying to skip on the inside, picking up the points.
And T-Breaks doing what we've seen them do really well in this game, using their toe stops along the inside. And this is now a power jam. Abby picking up what I believe was a back block penalty. Going to take a seat in the box, which means T-Breaks has possibly got the opportunity to try and put a chunk more points on the board for the Snow Leopards.
T-Breaks has been a phenomenal jammer for the Snow Leopards so far. Some great points on the board and looking to repeat previous performances. If I could say all of the P's after one another.
We're currently up to 9 points scored in this jam by T-Breaks.
And that toe stop work not quite as successful as previous been, but coming back around to put more points on the board.
Exactly that. T-Breaks knew that they had touched out of bounds, and instead of carrying on and risking that penalty, they knew to reset themselves. And speaking of penalties, Abby's heading back to the box for a cutting penalty.
So this will be another power jam in favour of the Snow Leopards. This is going to be a fantastic, strong finish to this team.
And this power jam will take us pretty much to the end of the jam. We've got 20 seconds left on the jam clock.
I hope we can get a few more points on the board. We see number 24 recycling that Snow Leopard jammer. That's Lady Macbeth.
Another blocker who's had a fabulous game again, and another takeoff there.
Yeah, but a penalty as well. And that whistle and the crowd cheering signifies the end of this incredible game. I am so happy that we got to witness this and got to call this game. A wonderful win by the Jaguars, but a stellar performance by the Snow Leopards as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that was a massive 17-point jam for T-Breaks there.
Incredible.
Absolutely incredible. So that's our rolling whistle for the official final end of the game.
And you can see the crowd flooding to the edge of the track to get a little hand slap from our fantastic junior skaters.
You can see here towards the left-hand side of the screen, we've got a number of people getting ready, getting low to take those hand slaps from the smaller skaters.
And we see the Snow Leopards taking their lap around the track.
They're being waved towards them by Uncle Stevel.
Yeah, SDRD getting in on the action as well.
They know that these kids, I would not be surprised if SDRD have been watching and they've gone, we see you, Judge Law. Yep. We see you, Duke of Painbridge.
We're keeping an eye on you. Once you are ready to join us, once you turn 18, we will be welcoming you with open arms.
Indeed. We can confirm for you folks that our official final score here today saw the Snow Leopards picking up a whopping 175 points. But your winners with an incredible 318 points were those fierce Jaguars,
who are now currently taking their victory lap. Honestly, my heart kind of bursts with pride at seeing this kind of game. We're incredibly lucky, but there is still more derby. There is more derby.
When will it end? I don't want it to end.
So we're just going to, as we explained earlier, 6:45 we have the World Cup read. So the group stage draws for the Men's Roller Derby World Cup in 2018 in Barcelona. It'll be taking place today at 18:45 Cardiff time. Don't miss at MRDA News on Twitter and MRDA on Facebook, and it will also be on the live stream.
I am so excited. We know that there's going to be a whole heap of teams involved in the Men's Roller Derby World Cup next year in Barcelona.
Yep, and we've actually seen a lot of the skaters who are going to be there on track representing various different teams.
Yes.
I mean, when you have this kind of level, you can see that a lot of those skaters are going to be involved with the national teams. And it's incredible to wear your own uniform, but to be able to wear the name of your country, the flag.
Exactly.
To
be able to represent your nation at the highest level of your sport. must be a phenomenal honour.
Yeah, it is absolutely incredible. We also want to give a big shout out to Anarchy's Danny B. There is
Danny
a
B, we love you.
GoFundMe, and we will also end up having a little link to that on the screen. Please go to the GoFundMe. At the moment, we've got a little bit of money on there, but we need some more for Danny B, who was injured in the first game for Anarchy.
Yep.
Put in a phenomenal performance, as did those juniors. I mean,
so I was lucky enough to spend some time with a couple of the guys from Austin Anarchy yesterday evening. You were there as well.
Yeah, we were there.
Danny's doing well, but is still going to be here in the UK for a little while. So anything you can contribute towards helping Danny so kind of get along while he's still here would be massively appreciated.
Yeah, let's come together as the Derby community and support one of our own.
Exactly.
Indeed.